Mute. Checking the audio here. Okay, good. I can in fact hear that, though it is weirdly quiet. That is because it is coming through somewhere. Oh my god. Okay, I think it's going. I've got all the other recordings going up. If someone actually joins us, we can attempt to assess it at that point. In the meantime, we are live and rolling. Please proceed.
Guys, welcome back to the Dead Sea God. Today I'm going to be piloting the ship while we get into the next arc plot. You guys managed to get your boat after deciding you actually wanted said boat. A new mascot that may be Shava's or maybe the group's, we have yet to decide. A weird piece of paper with a sigil on it, and you guys are missing half of your payment for a job well done. Just arrived back in Forum. What are your plans? Clarify, Forum is the city that you guys started off in.
So the thing that I was messaged about, what's the time until that event occurs?
It is currently evening. The sun is setting in the east, based off of the time frame from whence you left. Sorry, that's kind of a continuation from last thing. My apologies if I stepped on toes.
I just wanted to know, isn't it because it was 3 days until that event occurred? I'm just trying to make sure that
One moment, because... one sec. I wrote it down. Or, not really wrote it. It's in the notes. That is based off of... tomorrow, if I'm doing my math correctly.
that is what I want to know. So,
yes.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything any of you specifically want to do?
I guess it depends on if we want to go collect the money tonight or just sleep until morning.
I would like to be paid. I don't know about anybody else.
I mean, we all like money.
It's nice to get quickly. All right. So you guys all want to go get paid? Get that out of the way first thing?
Let's get it out of the way.
All right. I'm assuming you head straight to where you were talking to Dran before?
We do we have to figure out what we're going to do with the boat in the meantime.
That is a valid question.
Is there a port we could just tie it up in?
There is. Yeah. So if you actually look at the map, Lindsay has a beautifully made little port over there with some docks and stuff. If you guys wanted to port there instead of the beach, that'd probably be perfectly fine. Your boat is small enough to just kind of bank a little bit farther down the way and then walk the rest of the way to the city. If you port at the dock, you'll probably have to pay a small fee.
That's fine. I can front the fee depending on how much it is. Also, I'm casting spells by accident, sorry.
Randomly, you're on the boat and just arc blade across
I'm
it.
just coming in fucking hot with arc blade on this tiny boat.
Trying
Everyone
to
just screams as the boat tips over.
It capsizes. You no longer have a boat. No, I'm kidding.
I'm sorry, I broke our boat with arc blade. No, my push to talk is 5, which is the button on my hotkey. For arc blade, I didn't realize I would automatically cast things. Whoopsies.
All right. Then as you pull up to the dock, you kind of see a couple of like boat workers and dock workers kind of like standing at the end of docks and like directing people to certain places. You guys kind of get pointed at a very small dock for your very small boat. At which point, as you're docking, a harried little man runs up to you, probably human. He's like, "Okay, look, like, how long are you gonna be here?" Because we don't have anybody scheduled to come in with this style of boat. So
I'm sorry, probably human?
Yeah, a hairy little man?
No,
Who is
Har-
probably
harried.
human?
Harried. Like he's very rushed and he looks like he's sorry, I probably mumbled. Like he looks very rushed
Oh my
and like heavy
god,
breathing.
Carissa,
And he's
I was
just
like,
"Oh my God."
what? I
Just a
was
hairy
so
little
confused.
man.
I thought he was so hairy that we couldn't tell if he was human or not.
That's what I was sitting on too. I was like, what is wrong with this hairy little man?
He's got places to be and places to shave, and you're keeping him from that.
And here I understood what that word meant. I don't know. I'm just sitting over here. Sorry.
Oh,
No,
my
I didn't
lord.
hear it correctly. I know what harried means.
Yeah. Oh, good lord. Okay. Oh, sweet Jesus. What does he need from me? I'm so thrown off.
That's fair. He's being quite a bit pushy. So he kind of just is like, well, how long do you need to be here? Because we don't have anybody on the docket for like a boat of your type. So obviously you didn't prepay. So how long are you going to be here?
My second question, which is I'm sorry to everyone else that I'm being so dodgy, is to get to where I have to go, would taking the boat be an effective way to get there?
Do you want to field that one, Lindsay?
Yeah, sorry. I have to. I've. Mike is being an ornery child, so I have to unmute on both the screens. So my apologies. To answer your question, you're already there.
Oh, it's here.
Yes, I will. I will ping you the appropriate information, and give me one moment here, just so there is some clarification.
Lindsay, if your mic is like anything like a lot of headset mics, you might actually have a switch that just mutes your mic on your headset, and it might be easier to do that versus, yeah, that way you don't have to unclick on both. Cool.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So let me do this thing real quick here. Sorry, please continue.
How long you planning on staying?
Unknown.
Alright, so for a non-scheduled stay, it's 2 coppers a day for this boat size, and unless we start getting, reservations, you give it a couple more. I don't know, you stay here for about a week, you're gonna have to probably pay a little bit more, because we're gonna have to boot you up to one of the bigger docks. Because we got a fleet of halfling ships coming in, little boats, and so they've already prepaid and all of that. So, but you got about a week on the cheap pay if you have to stay a while.
That's fine. I'll prepay for the week.
Are we staying for a week?
I'm just getting it out of the way. Like,
and so the little halfling is like, "Shut up, give me money."
A halfling?
I just. Listen, you guys have Harry in my brain now, and all I got is little hairy feet, and then I talked about halflings, and now he's a halfling, okay? You happy? You can tell.
Okay, that's fine. He can be a little halfling man. I don't mind. And I feel like he's barely up to Benny's knees, and he just wants this interaction to be over as quickly as possible.
Yes, you are mildly intimidating. Like, he's a halfling, he's used to it. He's probably actually on the shorter end, even for a halfling.
Aww.
Aren't that tiny. But he's just like, can you just tell you what, just prepay me a week, whatever you don't use, I'll give you back.
That works for Benny. He will wordlessly get out the money. So it's 2 copper a day for 7 days. That conversion rate is question mark 14 copper. Is it 10 copper to a silver?
I believe so.
So that'd be
1 silver and 4 copper, please.
a silver, 4 copper. What if I just give him 2 silver?
I mean, he's not going to complain.
Then I'm gonna do that.
He is like, okay, thank you for your business. If you would just register the name of your ship at the dockmaster's keep right at the end of dock number D. And he points down to a dock number way down at about 4 or 5 docks, and it's about in the middle of like the entire dock length. And he's like, just go ahead and register your name of your boat there. That way we can, if people are asking about it, we know it's paid. You can put in the type of boat that it is, and there isn't going to be any questions about if you've paid or not. And it gives you a little bit insurance that somebody else that you don't want walking off with your boat ain't gonna walk off with your boat. We'll keep an eye on it.
Hmm.
And with that, he does not even pause. He's already walking off. He's got things to do. Off he goes.
I have a question. Did I get the vibe that he knows these other halflings that are coming in?
Yes.
Okay.
So real quick, I
What
was
is going on?
sorry, just real quick to further explain. Apparently, if I mute, so because they are hooked into the same audio processor, as far as I can tell based off of how OBS is reacting, if I mute my mic and I don't have the mic thing on OBS muted as well, it picks up y'all guys' audio twice.
Oh no!
So I'm gonna have to keep my mic on and just keep doing the back and forth muting thing. Again, this is only temporary. I apologize for any inconvenience. But fortunately, I shouldn't be talking too terribly much. Anyway, I just wanted an update. Please carry on.
Okay, thank
Give
you.
you a couple of seconds when we ask you questions so you can switch back and forth. All right. So, you guys want to register your
register
boat?
and pick a name.
You got to pick a name. You guys got to vote on a boat name.
This is barely even a boat. This is a bucket that I can steer.
So
Bucket with a sail.
The bucket with a sail. I
Oh,
did.
That sounds like a lovely name. We could just call it Bucket.
Honestly, Benny would not mind calling it bucket.
the bucket.
The bucket.
The Bucket.
Yeah. Weird.
All right.
Okay. I'm coming in hot, no arc blades this time.
Okay. So I take it you're all
Okay,
walking
but-
towards the
Oh no, just Ray's gonna point out, like, it'd be hilarious since we have to register this as the bucket. They're probably gonna be looking for an actual bucket that's been tied to the top.
Well,
And I, for one, I am excited for that mix-up.
that's their problem.
you're gonna have a very confused bunch of dock workers being like, no, maybe.
Is it that? What? That's sort of bucket shaped.
I mean, but it's got a.
I could add the name on. I could paint it on or something.
I was thinking that actually. I feel like Ray has the skill to label the bucket as such. Perhaps that's something to do at another time.
Lindsay has a comment.
Ah,
It occurs to me this does have a rather rudimentary sail. It could be stitched into said fabric.
oh my God, you're so right. What
Gimme.
if? Like, what if after we register it?
Wait. I have an idea. I could make a flag for the bucket, and it could be a picture of a bucket on the flag.
God fucking damn it.
I love it.
It both, like, helps and hurts Benny's pride as a sailor. Because, like, it's acknowledging that what he is sailing, quote unquote, is just a bucket, but also, Jesus Christ, it's a flag of a fucking bucket. But you know what? I think in the end, sorry, my cat is screaming. I think in the end, he won't stop him from doing it.
I mean, does Benny even really want to acknowledge that this is a ship?
No, he doesn't. That's why he said it's a bucket. This isn't a ship.
Perfect. A dumb name for a dumb piece of wood he has to float on for a while.
God.
You know, though,
Well-
if he ever loses the bucket, he's going to be so upset about it because we're going to get emotionally attached.
A bucket is better than
The
nothing.
bucket! You have a
Really?
duck, a bucket, and a dumb cat. Congratulations.
We have a little catbird and we have a bucket. Truly, things are going up for Benny. It's more than he had
One day we're going to.
a couple days ago.
This is only going to make sense to a couple people, but one day we're going to lose the bucket, and it's going to be like the scene in One Piece where they're watching
yeah.
their ship burn as it
Oh
sails
yeah,
into the
I was
distance.
thinking that too. Their first ship.
Yeah, it's gonna be very similar vibes.
I feel like it's the same problem where like as soon as you name something, you've doomed yourself to get emotionally attached to it because now I'm like, fuck. It's such a like scrappy little bucket. I'm
That's all
so
it is.
I'm so endeared to our shitty little ship.
Alright, so I'm gonna say about halfway down to getting your boat registered, you all are just like, it's the bucket. And you decided on the name. So the question is, Ray, with your plan on making a sail, are you gonna make it out of separate material or are you gonna put it in the actual sail? Sorry, a flag.
I was honestly thinking of doing both. I could one piece this. I could make a flag, and I could also put it onto the sail.
So modify the existing sail to make it buckety.
Yes, and at this point, he looks at everyone very pointedly. Maybe I could even make it a little magical, but I wouldn't want to lie to all of you.
Don't worry, my expectations are already low.
That's a very rude thing to say.
Shava's just over there with like that look of like
Like, it's the look of don't you dare start lying again.
I never lied.
You're right. You just omitted the truth. You and the Fae would get along fantastically.
Ray would truly thrive among the Fae.
All right. So,
who's to say I haven't been there already?
True. Maybe you're someone's sibling from the Feywild.
I'm absolutely not. I wish was fucking with.
I think it's important to note that you all would know that Shava is a little Fae touched. Like, it's very obvious from her appearance. She is a part of the Elvish subgroup that is actually Fae touched.
Oh my god, we're just like postulating this. Good lord.
Benny, you are so racist. Now look, now you're offending Shava.
I just laugh and reach up to my shoulder and scratch our little micro griffin.
He's probably just starting to like hit his peak wake up time too.
Yes,
he's probably all like wide eyed and looking around and like, what's up? There's stuff.
He's so cute. He's so cute, and Benny is so accidentally microaggressive.
Benny
it's
is
like he can't help himself.
This is why he doesn't talk.
It's not that he's
just
trying
gonna
to be racist. He just literally does not understand, and unfortunately,
it's not his fault.
Textbook microaggression.
He grew up in such a multicultural family.
Yeah, it's really kind of sad because they get the entire group. Your character has the least amount of excuse to be culturally insensitive.
I think it truly is an accident. But anyway, my man is not going to say anything. He's just going to go register the fuck bucket. It's not the fuck bucket.
That's what it's called. It's the fuck bucket.
No, it's just the bucket. But I said the fuck bucket for emphasis.
Betty said it for a second because he's so mad about accidentally being microaggressive.
No, he's not going to. He's too embarrassed to speak at this point, so he's just going to go.
Oh, it's okay. I know a Fae. I can say things like that.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and that's me above the table in real life.
Oh, that's entirely right.
Can I roll an attack roll against my wife, but not actually mean it?
She's too far away. Your reach isn't that long.
Damn it! I can't reach 4,000 miles.
No, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, you have like a 30-foot reach. It's like the best I can
Damn
give you with a good dash.
Well, it was
All
worth
right.
a shot.
So, Benny kind of power walks off to go register the quote-unquote fuck bucket, and does everybody power walk after him?
I leisurely walk after him.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Everything I do has to be a power walk because I have teeny little stubby legs.
Tiny little munchkin legs.
Little baby boy. Must have been nice to have somebody shorter for you around for 30 seconds.
It was.
All right, so Benny, you get there a little bit before everybody else because you're tall. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Um,
must be nice
and
in real life.
At best, it's like, you know, like when you go to like a zoo or something and those like little areas where like they make you pay for parking. It's like a 10 by 10 box with like a
Like a
sliding
booth.
window. It's a booth. It's like them saying it was a building was a bit of an exaggeration. It's a booth. And there's just this just unenthused, absolutely unenthused looking shifter behind the counter. He's got a little horn sticking up. It's a little hard to tell what he probably shifts into, but he's burly and he's just staring.
Is this like a teenager working their fucking summer job, basically?
Yes. It's very obvious he doesn't want to be here. It's pretty common in shifter culture to kind of go from city to city, so he probably hasn't been here for long, and by the look on his face, he ain't gonna be here for long either. Or at the very least, he hopes his family doesn't stick around, because Tabaxi will kind of travel around by themselves from time to time or in smaller groups. Shifters are hardcore family orientated most of the time. So he's probably got a family in town, and that's the only reason he's here. It's just written on his face. Like those people that have just checked out of their job 3 months ago, but have only been working for 4 days. That's him.
I love his
Mood.
energy.
And so he just kind of stares at Betty for a couple seconds, and he's like, "Yeah."
I will say also it's very good for Benny because he doesn't want to have any conversations either. So he will just didn't the hairy little man mention something about also insurance? Or was that
Registered it with the dock person that the dock workers would keep an eye on it.
okay, gotcha. He's just going to say that he is registering the bucket.
All right, are you the primary owner?
Yes.
Okay. Full boat name is the bucket.
Why did you hesitate like that?
Because
Grace
it's
is trotting
communal,
up next to Betty.
it's communally owned. And he didn't want to insinuate that it was his boat, but also he is driving the fucking boat, so it's just easier to say yes. That was why.
I'm sorry, you sail a boat. You don't drive a boat.
Me say I drive boat. Me say it. Also, this barely counts. It can't go on the sea. It's so small.
Further, note, another reason is based off of previous discussions, even though she is not currently present, Faraday would also possibly fight for primary ownership. So.
Yes. And I feel like they probably would have gotten into that as they sailed back. They probably would have bickered a little bit about it, which would also lead to the hesitation. But yes, he is the primary owner of the bucket.
Shifter kind of just looks back and forth between you and then like kind of down a little bit to be able to peer over the edge of the opening to see the full face of Ray, and it's just like, I don't get paid enough. You want anybody else to be able to take the boat out other than you?
Anyone within this group. Which I
Within this group.
assume also has Faraday in it.
All right, so he
Da-
kind of watches
are
as
we- Are we assuming Faraday's with us?
yeah. I'm just gonna assume
Yeah.
people who are not here are sticking
Yeah.
with the group unless something happens that would be obvious reasons for them to split off. So he's kind of like he just kind of like counts with his fingers. He's like, okay. So it's 5 of you. He does some scribbling down, just some like basic. If you lean over, you'll see it's just like basic like appearance, general height, assumed race, that sort of stuff. He ain't asking. He don't care. And he's
Bare
like, all right,
minimum, baby.
names,
Benny.
Benny,
Java.
Java.
On my tiptoes. Ray.
That's
There
so
it is,
cute.
Ray. And then from the back, Faraday waves and nudges Cookie
Cookie.
into an answer, who's already off planning whatever she wants to do next with her life. It's not a boat.
It's
got-
no.
Things to explode. Not unfortunately, boats are not allowed to be exploded, so interest has been temporarily lost.
Yeah.
So he writes down the names. He goes, "Okay, cool. Who'd you pay?"
Fuck that hairy little man. I forgot his name. Or we didn't learn his name.
The harried little man.
The harried little man.
The harried little man.
He was in a hurry.
About 3 feet tall.
A halfling?
I don't want
A
to say
halfling.
that because I've
This is-
already apparently been accidentally racist, so he's avoiding even insinuating anything about that man's race. He's gonna let
So
the other two
you-
fill that in.
So you just paid a random short person without getting their
Fuck.
name.
Yes.
Did he give you a receipt?
No. If I get swindled, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed.
He kind of stares at you like you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Ray's losing it, just like I
Yeah.
am.
Benny deserves it. Get fucked, Benny. I'm gonna go
And the
find
guy-
hairy little man.
But he moves so fast.
Hey, I have spells with range.
He's
You know
like,
what's funny is I
"Alright,
wanted to
just-"
insight check him, but then we started getting on about me being not actually Fey touched, and I forgot to insight.
That's why I kind of wanted, that's what I was leaning towards with the halflings coming in on the ship. I was like, oh, I wonder if he's involved with them at all. I should have insight checked that. Damn. I don't know that little man's name. And if he has,
Just gave him 2 silver.
if he has bamboozled me out of 2 silver, I will get my money back. I'm gonna leave and go find the hairy little man. Or at
Alright,
least try
and-
to.
As it starts being, announced that this is a problem, somebody kind of walks up, and I apologize. My computer just froze, and I have forgotten this person's name already. I'm gonna
No,
talk real slow while I pull it up.
it's okay. It just builds up the tension.
So a man kind of calls out from the side, and he's like, just give him a break. This is the 4th person today that has been swindled on your docks. Like, you guys got a problem. I'll pay for their docking. It's not that big of a deal. And as you look over, there is a man in what you guys would recognize as a subgroup of the Midas temples. So in Midas, there are still 3 groups that actively worship Midas, who's, if you recall, dead.
Mhm.
One of them is the Core. The Core is probably the most open about all of it, and is very much like, hey, we love Midas, and they're very like out there and helping and very information gathering, and he is wearing the most obvious Core robes you have ever seen in your life. They're pristine pristine white with just streaks of vibrant sea blue and tints of gold. And he's just carrying himself like somebody who has money and knows it, but is probably going to spend it on something stupid.
I like his style though.
He
I
is
appreciate it.
probably something you haven't seen before, however. He is a type of merfolk that is of an octopus subgroup.
Oh, that's
So for
rad.
anybody who has been in the ocean enough knows what a certain poisonous octopus looks like with its tannish yellow
Yay! He's
skin
a
and its
blue-ringed
blue
octopus?
rings. He is a blue ringed octopus. His skin is painfully bright. He does not seem to have any like hair or anything like that. He looks almost Cthulian, to be perfectly frank. He's got them octopus eyes with the not quite bright pupils, and he kind of like bounces as he walks. Because he's kind of crawling forward on his little tentacle legs. It's kind of weird to see him out of the water though, because you don't normally see these kind of merfolk on land. They dry out real fast, which is a big indicator that he's got some sort of magic mojo going on right off the bat. But otherwise, he seems very friendly. It's like, I'll pay for it. It's fine. You guys need to get your stuff together, and they obviously are not used to it here.
Well, now I have no choice but to insight check him. I have no choice.
What are you checking for?
If he, I mean, I just got swindled. Does he seem legit?
And he seems very genuine.
Oh, man. My pride is a little wounded, but I will let this man pay. And would I have encountered people who are octopi? Probably not blue-ringed ones.
Not directly interacted with the blue ring octopi before. Like I said, Benny has, had some sailing experience, which means he's probably dealt with more merfolk than the average person.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody who's not necessarily from the waters.
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely would have dealt with octopi before, but not necessarily a blue ring one.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, when it comes to merfolk, even if the creature that they look like is dangerous, venomous, poisonous, it doesn't mean the merfolk is. It's normally simply an aesthetic correlation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm not saying I would, but if I shook his hand, I probably would not immediately die from poisoning.
Yeah, no. And if
Does he have hands?
Well,
Sorry,
a tentacle.
what?
A tentacle.
I am staring unabashedly, by the way.
Oh, my ears are straight up. I am so interested.
Like my eyes are like as big as my Putu Griffin eyes.
The three of them are staring, and I give him the straight up, like, the dude nod, like, the one time, like, raise of the chin and acknowledgement. That's my thanks to him. That's it. So manly.
He, feelings are a little hurt.
I'm
I managed to mumble out a thank you very much.
I appreciate that someone else will say thank you. I figured someone else would.
I was waiting for it. I was like, is
But
everyone
I
else there?
continue to stare. There's like
He kind of, if he was a little less, to be a little punny, a little less liquid in his movements, you would almost think he was preening at the staring. He's taking it in, man. He loves it. He's so excited. He's not quite sure, it seems to say what's next, but he also doesn't seem to be wanting to disengage from the conversation. This isn't necessarily uncommon for people of the Church of Rebirth who are out and about. So the Church of Rebirth, or the core, which I just said. I don't know if any of you had the time to read over the different Midas subsections of religion here. Was anybody familiar with that at all?
I did, but it was so long ago that I actually read it that it is not as fresh for me.
Very fair. Like I actually pulled it up to double check myself, so don't feel bad. So the Church of Rebirth specifically thinks that because a new major water god has not been born since the death of Midas, even though deities are a thing in this universe. So just as a quick recap of how the powers work in this plane. Gods, all the old gods, the elder gods are massive, behemoth, undeniable creatures. But after they all formed, there was still like gaps of natural power that were not under the domain of any of those major gods. Those are deities. Deities only have one domain, barely. They're kind of like the deity of a specific river, that sort of thing. They're not super powerful compared to the gods. But even with the death of Midas, no new god has formed, and there hasn't been like a deity of XC pop up. So the Church of Rebirth believes that their god is still living in some form and is going to be reborn.
Which is reasonable enough.
Yeah, so there's some logic to the why they think this is the way it is. There's two other factions that believe other stuff, but that's what the core believes. They kind of like, because rebirth is a thing that happens on this plane, they've kind of combined that along with like this religious fervor. They're very, very worshipful, very, they're not quite proselytizing, but they like to make sure that people don't forget Midas. So they go around a lot and they help people and they do things, and they're intentionally dressed in a way to attract attention, because that's
in the name of spreading their religion. So
exactly. And
do they go
do
they like go door to door, or are they just doing charitable works very visibly?
Charitable works. Very visibly.
Okay.
They're mostly humans and merfolk. There are sub-pockets of the races that have lived there longer that are also main members of the core. They don't really have any racial preferences. It's just those are the two main groups that have ended up comprising most of it. So yeah. So the little octopus dude's kind of just, he's standing there and he's like, "So, what brings you in unplanned into a dock?"
This is where we're based. You said we're the fourth people to get swindled today?
Yep.
What else do you know about the people doing this? Because Benny is still getting his fucking money back.
So, I'm going to be honest, I've only been here for about a day now. I'm here for an event that's happening a little bit later tomorrow. He kind of thinks for a minute, and he's like, "Unfortunately, I've kind of just caught the tail end of it. They like to stick to the outer docks where most of the dock workers aren't focusing on, because, dock workers will normally be on the docks for the bigger boats because they're the ones that are paying for repairs and upkeep, and smaller boats, normally the people who own them will do it themselves, So, it's just, we're not quite sure what's happening. It seems like a tag team duo of a halfling and a Shalaran, but there could be more. I know that they're requesting some more security for the docks in the next day or so to get down here, but I mean, Forum's a good size, but it ain't big. So getting an extra few hands to catch somebody quickly in a place where lots of people are coming and going, not the easiest thing. The shifter behind the counter has just slowly shut the door, by the way.
Just totally checked out.
He just got that look like somebody who's already had his ass reamed for this multiple times, and he's just like, "Please, dear God, not again."
He just got off orientation. Please don't be mean to him.
I don't have the customer service points for this.
No. Okay. I'm running into this problem over and over where I want to know more information, but my character would not. I want to know what event he's going to, but Benny doesn't give a shit. He wants his money. So,
Fair enough.
It's
Fair
okay.
enough.
That's what I'm here for.
please ask, babe.
Like, you need to understand this whole time Ray's been staring at him, like, ears twitching. He's like, yes, this is so cool. Never seen anyone like that before. But he is gonna ask about, like, real quick, because you mentioned this is the fourth time today. How long has this been happening? Because he's getting some vibes.
Time I was here a few months back, it wasn't happening. It does, it does happen almost every dock from time to time. Swindlers are what swindlers are. The dock workers that I've asked swear up and down that it's a recent thing. Only really picked up today, a couple times in the last week. It was probably just some new people trying to get some money before they move along. I would like to figure out who it is and see why they're stealing money, but I unfortunately don't really have the time. I've got places to be. Maybe I'll figure that out after my my appointment's done.
Yeah, ask
What's
ask
your
him about
appointment
his
for?
appointment. Yes.
He looks
Come the fuck
he looks exceedingly pleased that you asked.
Oh. Oh no, he's gonna recruit us to come to church with him. No.
Look what you fucking made me do! I opened
Luckily,
the door at a Mormon.
I
I
was
think
gonna
we
say,
should
are they
go.
Mormon?
listen, they had to make him look interesting, so you let him into his house so he could tell you about Jesus. Water
Oh,
Jesus
no.
loves you, and he's going to come back.
Jesus.
I am an octopus.
As he starts off with, hello.
Good news. He
Ella.
isn't going to try to convince you to come to church. So you can-
No.
he's not going to. It's okay.
Okay.
It's not the plan. He preens a little bit. He's like, from time to time, the riverboats that are around here like to have auctions that are on them. And the Church of Rebirth has found that I'm very good at discerning the, how we say, actual value of rare items. So I've been set as a representative in order to see over the auction and see if there's anything that my faction would like to purchase for our temples.
Wait a second.
Yes.
And I dig into my bag.
Oh my god, the duck.
No one's touching the duck. The duck is mine. And I pull out the unknown metal from forever ago that I found
Ooh.
in the water.
Nice.
You wouldn't happen to know what this is then, would you?
If you would like to unmute and tell them, since it was your creation. Maybe.
Sorry. No, no.
Maybe.
I just wanted to make certain, like, if it's just like, oh yeah, sure, if he's gonna know, he's gonna know. He's your character. If he knows, he knows.
Yes.
So, my apologies if I get the voice wrong on this. But he's gonna be looking at it, and he's like, may I? As he's reaching out to try to get it to examine. Okay. So he picks it up, and he sort of twists it around in the nearest, I'm going to assume this place has like lamps or lamp lights of some description. Twists it around the lamplight, and it sort of catches the light in a particular manner as he like twists it. And he gets this like, oh, and hands it back to you. It's like, well, I actually haven't seen such a thing in quite a while. You see, there was a gentleman a while ago. We did some communication with him for modifying a few items we wanted for the church. A metallurgist of some sort. He had devised a particular compound, a particular alloy that he had wanted to share around and get investment in. And so he sent out little sample cubes such as that, so that people might try them on small pieces to work with and whatnot. I don't think we worked with material specifically, but rumor has it is that it could significantly enhance a weapon. Sadly, I believe the metallurgist was lost some time ago, or at least no one's heard from him. Good.
What would it be doing in the water then?
As I said, they were handed out as sample parcels. It's possible it fell overboard if you found it out at Ceasefire or somewhere, or perhaps from someone's bag if it was closer to a walking path.
It was closer to a walking path. It was near a natural bridge.
Ah, then yes, it was likely a merchant or one of his representatives was taking it to show at a market somewhere, and dropped it out of his thing, or dropped it out of his luggage.
Ears going straight up again. Turning to the others, like, do you think it might have been with our lost caravan?
Oh,
I
this
think it's possible.
it should be mentioned this gentleman was lost many years ago. It's possible that that cube has been there for a decade or more, who knows.
Mm.
Cool. Well, thank you. Oh man, that's awesome.
As he sort of
what I have heard about.
Oh, sorry, just a response to that. He sort of does a little, like, shimmy. It's like, I am more than pleased to be helpful. Or something to that effect. However you would phrase that, Carissa.
Close. It's good. I like it.
Would I have ever heard about this metallurgist on my travels?
Let's see. You are that metallurgist was from Midas, right, Lindsay?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you, Ray?
Like early 20s.
You do travel. What do you think, Lindsay? Roll a d20?
Roll a d20. I feel like this is weirdly niche. But maybe.
Yes, my specialty. Rolling, making you guys ask me to roll for things you did not see coming.
As it should be.
Should I roll for anything? Should I roll for anything in particular, or just a d20?
Just just a d20. If it was fabric, I'd give you a bonus. Oh, no, you don't.
No
You don't
shit,
know.
Orpha.
Oh no, Ray doesn't know nothing.
It's a cute.
That's
cute,
pretty in
cute girl.
character, though.
Yeah. All the more to make it a mystery. Who would have
Put
known?
that right back in my bag, then. That's so cool.
But hey, maybe you can ask a different smith later. I mean, as he pointed out, this is a pretty small town. So,
Mhm.
you might...
So you say this auction is happening tonight?
The action is actually happening tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So.
Gasp. And the things that I have to do. These are simultaneous, aren't they?
Simultaneous. They are both happening tomorrow.
Gasp. Okay.
Do be like
Rad.
that sometimes. Tough decisions.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know which way I'm leaning. Well, anyway, I want to go hunt down the halfling. I want my 2 silver back. So I'm gonna go.
Well, roll a wisdom check for me.
Oh balls. Got okay, wisdom. Come on, Benny, you can do it. Ability check, I'm assuming.
Yes!
Oh, fuck.
No.
Nice.
All right. So, with Benny's history, he thinks of several things simultaneously. One, the halfling was very short and it's dark. Like
Yeah.
it's getting dark.
Oh yeah, it is evening.
You might be able to find him, but it's not going to be an easy search, and you didn't put any markers on him. And it sounds like he isn't from around here. Could be wrong. The person you're talking to, you remember, it also isn't from around here. So maybe it is a local. But the person also manning the shack is a shifter, which means they might not be from around here. Dude could be a local. You don't know. He could also already be on a boat out of here.
Mm-hmm. Motherfucker.
However, if he's not on a boat, you also realize it's nighttime. It might be a good time to jump him. No, he didn't steal the boat, Katie. It's okay.
Oh, I would jump in. We'll jump in.
Jump him. I'm ready to jump him. I have a dagger.
See, not Shava. Oh my God, Faraday and I we're gonna jump this little man.
I am ready. I'm like 6 foot something. I'm
Two tall ones
terrifying
are
in the
just gonna
dark.
go fucking play football with him.
Wait,
He
how
wins it
tall,
as a comment.
Shava? How tall is Shava?
Average? Aren't you like 5'4", Shava?
I'm not super tall.
Oh, sorry. One other thing of note, just because Faraday was here, Katie was not. The boat has been named, just so that we might catch her up, as she had to come in a little bit late.
Yes.
Boat's name is The Bucket.
The bucket. Okay.
Yes, because we had to name it to register it. But no, that fucking little halfling man scammed me out of 2 silver.
2 silver? We're jumping him over 2 silver? My character would still jump him. Who am I kidding? I'll still jump him. Absolutely.
No, I was asking how tall Shava was because I'm also over 6 feet tall. So you and I are just towering over literally everyone else in the party, and we will also tower over this tiny little halfling man when we find him and get our money back.
I'll go behind him, and you can go in front of him, and we'll just stare.
I like the flanking maneuver. I like it.
Yes.
Okay, he mentioned that other halflings were coming in tomorrow. We will probably find him tomorrow. Yes.
Lead?
That would be our best shot, probably.
That's
Just for the record, since we're discussing heights, Ray is only 5'1".
I
Oh,
would,
he's tiny.
oh,
Small kitty.
Going in
I
and
would
out.
like to point out you're by a river, which means there's probably multiple different groups of halflings coming in and out. So just because he knew a group of halflings was coming in and he seemed to know them doesn't mean that they're his group of halflings.
That is our best shot though. And he'll probably come back and try to scam again tomorrow. Or if he knows he's been found out, maybe not. I don't know. We have to go get paid also. Motherfucker.
We can get paid tomorrow. Let's jump him tonight.
God damn it, you're so right.
There's so much violence going on here.
And you know what? And we have to go back onto the dock so Ray can get the sail to turn it into the flag. So we have to go back anyway, so we could do a little investigatey while you get the sail. I mean, I'm just saying, we're going back that way anyway.
This was said back and forth in character.
I was absolutely saying we can get paid tomorrow. Let's jump him tonight. That's in character.
Yeah, and Benny would agree in character. They have to go back to get the sail anyway. It only makes sense to look.
Wait, is the halfling a boy? I would not misgender in character.
No,
No,
he was
he's
a
a man.
dude.
He's a
Okay.
dude.
We gotta go get it.
I mean, pronouns weren't asked, but as far as
Oh my
everybody
god,
knows,
you're so right. We should be asking pronouns. I didn't even ask. The poor got his name, honestly, in the last pronoun.
I mean, to be fair, in my dialogue, I use the pronouns he, him. So
Okay.
don't. I will do my best to never misgender a character for you guys. Okay. So Noah's still watching you guys talk about this.
Oh my god, the octopus.
He's just standing there having a good old time. And he's just like
We're
looking back and
just
forth
talking about violence and jumping someone
in front of
in
a church
front of
member.
a member of the church.
Literally
Congratulations.
paid for our boat.
Out of
Haven't we
charity.
killed
And you're about to
several
go
people?
beat the crap out of somebody for 2 silver.
It was my silver, and he took it from me under false pretenses.
It's the lying for me. Unacceptable.
So the core rep is just watching you all, and his face just looks so terribly intrigued. It's just
We ask him if he wants to join.
he goes, well, I mean, and he looks like he's thinking about it. I unfortunately don't think that's a good idea because I do have things I have to be available for tomorrow, so I can't go on a giant chase tonight. However,
Okay, wait, hold on. So it's not the fact that we're trying to jump someone that bothers you, it's the fact that you have things to do tomorrow?
The man
clearly you
knows
wanna
his
beat someone
priorities.
up.
He's got his priorities straight.
He knows his priorities.
He just kind of looks at you like, what does that have to do with anything? He's just,
Okay.
oh,
Alright.
no. He stole your money. Me paying for it doesn't change the fact he stole your money.
Just like to point out that I'm the ranger or not the ranger, I'm the rogue of this crew, so I've stolen money plenty of times.
But it wasn't his money.
But you didn't steal my money.
But it wasn't, yeah.
I did
And
try
he
to steal
know that.
someone's.
No one
Like,
doesn't know
within
that.
5 minutes of knowing me, I tried to steal something from someone.
So you
That's
didn't
true.
steal from us, and that's what
Yeah.
matters. I don't care if you steal from someone else.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what you do to other people as long as you don't steal my money. You know what?
Yes, that's valid.
I really feel like Faraday and I are like bonding right now. I feel like we have become co-captains through our bickering on like who gets to drive the ship, and I feel like we're just like on another wavelength at this time. feel like
Absolutely.
You sail a ship. You sail a ship.
Noah just kind of is watching all of you all, and he's like, I would like to remind you, however, that it is very late. And perhaps if you want to get paid tonight, you should head to the guild hall or split up.
He's tactful.
He is very tactful. I appreciate it. Okay, what if we go get paid and then we come back?
That works for me.
I stand by we could get paid tomorrow. I can go another night without the money. They're not going to go broke in 12 hours. It's the guild. They're wealthy. We'll be fine.
That is also true.
You are just demanding violence at this point.
That is true.
I
She makes a
am.
Blood
compelling
gods.
point.
We were robbed. You want to talk about getting money? We get ours back.
Them 2 silver. It's worth punching a dick in for.
Aren't we getting paid like way more than 2 silver for this?
Yes.
But
It's
wouldn't
still like
you
20
like
gold
our
piece,
pay?
isn't it?
But wouldn't you like our paycheck and your 2 cents?
Oh no, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Does anyone have dark vision? Can anyone see at night? I feel like I would already know this.
I think I have dark vision.
I do.
I do.
Benny
I'm
very
blind as
specifically does not,
Benny does not.
if I recall correctly. He is like one of the few people in the party who does not, and I find that hilarious. That's the only reason I
true.
remember.
You're right, I don't have dark vision. Never mind, just kidding.
Good. So the 2 people who want to jump him can't see.
I would like to remind you that while Benny does not have dark vision, he does have another skill.
He does. That's true. That's true. He does have that. You know what? Okay, here's the issue. I would want to do that skill as a flex, like to intimidate this man.
Fair.
So
I mean, as you look down the dock, it's decently well lit. There's still people coming and going. It's a dock. There's going to be people coming and going all night. It's not
Yeah.
peak traffic time, but there are like some oil lamps and stuff like that that are. It's not like you guys are going into like pure darkness.
Pure blackness. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not like we can't swim if we fall off if the worst
Yeah.
happens. Okay.
None of you
I
have eaten
mean-
gum fruit. You're fine.
I would like to try to find this man.
I think Faraday and I, regardless, are going to try to find that man
All right.
and get paid tomorrow.
Do Ray and Shava. Wow, I wanted to call her Sasha, and I was like, that is
Aw.
incorrect. Do Ray and Shava want to go with or split off?
I mean, I'm going with.
Man, now I have a decision to make.
Do it, do it, do it.
Well,
Just
I
because
need.
I'm questioning the violence doesn't mean I don't want to see it.
You don't necessarily have to partake. You just have to help us find him.
Yeah,
can
but
watch
there's
Faraday.
there's interesting plants around that I haven't seen, and I wanted to like start, categorizing them and stuff.
But we have to beat this man up. We gotta do it.
I probably will not partake, but I sigh and decide to follow.
It's okay. Faraday and I have this covered.
We
Don't
do.
split the party because the octopus sermon man decided to tell you to think about it.
I'm going to
Probably for the best.
I'm going
I'm
to
sorry?
thank him for his information. That I will thank him for.
He nods. He's like, I'll probably see you around. It'll be. Especially, it sounds like you're going to be going back to the guild hall tomorrow.
Mhm.
May see you in the streets. You all have a wonderful evening. And with that, he kind of just glide bops his way out of there with a little chuckle, like somebody who's just heard a juicy rumor that they probably shouldn't have.
That there's gonna be
Eric, he just said we're gonna beat someone up.
there's gonna be a rumble on the docks.
Listen, he said he didn't have a problem with the idea of you doing it. That doesn't mean he wants to participate.
Yeah, that's fine. He doesn't have to. Like, no one has to. She and I can take care of it.
2 6-foot people just stalking their prey.
Someone literally has eyes.
Exactly.
Alright, you guys headed back to the boat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They go to the scene of the crime.
Katie literally came in here just determined to beat someone's ass.
I'm loving the energy, I really am.
Alright.
What's that anime that has like the wolf who's fallen in love with the rabbit? Because that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
size difference I'm
Beastars.
imagining.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of.
that's the size difference I'm imagining.
Yeah, about.
We are
That's
twice
pretty
his
accurate.
size. He will die.
It's not quite knee height, but it is definitely my neck hurts height.
On both
Alright.
ends, 'cause we have to look down.
Anybody who is keeping an eye out for Halfling McSteely pants, roll me a perception check.
Oh,
Halfling
for sure.
pants. Please, 20. You know what? Fuck it. I'll take
nice.
that.
No, I'm not gonna get close, my dudes. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. Oh, nice. No, we be seeing. We out here seeing.
I am. I didn't get a 4 this time, so we're seeing more, but we ain't seeing a lot.
Shava, you want to keep an eye out, or are you just following?
You know, I tried to roll, but it didn't roll. Hold on, let me try again.
Alright.
Why is it not rolling? Am I doing something wrong?
No, let me double check your character sheet and see if I
I'm clicking perception.
roll the.
She has to click. If she's are you clicking the word perception, or are you clicking the die next to perception?
The word perception.
You need to click the die next to the word perception.
It depends on what
Oh.
character sheet she also has.
God dang it! I was trying to be helpful. Carry on.
It's quite a fair thing.
I do not want to know why it is not working.
All right, so if you right click on it, Or if you hover over it, you see a little gear.
Yes,
Click the gear.
I did that. Nothing happens.
Nothing pops up.
Nope.
Okay, that sounds like a glitch in your actual character sheet.
Okay.
So
I can
what
restart it.
you can restart it, and if it still doesn't work, we'll have you change the type of character sheet you're using,
Okay.
and we'll see if that helps. Let me know when you're back in.
Okay.
Question in the interim while we're trying to figure out character
yeah.
sheets. Did I also have to pay 14 to the dock, the shifter at the dock? Can we assume that I did that?
Oh, Noah paid for you.
Oh yeah, fuck, you're right. Never mind. Just kidding. Ha. Ha. I'm just a silly himbo. Be nice to me.
You're stressing over having to double pay, completely forgetting that somebody was nice the whole time.
Oh no, I was just trying to keep myself honest. I didn't want to have money that I didn't actually have. My bad.
Fair. I appreciate it. All right. There you go. Looks like it's working now. Can you
It
see it on your
works.
end?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I'm gonna do a little narrating here. If you feel like I'm narrating you out of character, please let me know. So, going from least to most, Shava doesn't give a shit enough to notice anything.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You're amazing.
Shava's just here.
Shava is paying enough attention that somebody would probably have a hard time stealing her purse out from underneath her, and it won't tip off her friends that she isn't paying attention, but not any more than that. Those are people, and they're on docks. None of them really look like the halfling from before. Farida is looking around and trying to pay attention, but for whatever reason, just isn't really seeing much. There's too many short people, and keeps hyper focusing on one and finding out it's not them, and then moving to the next one. Doesn't really notice anything of note.
She's too hyped up about the thought of committing a violent act.
Just
I'm
wants to
just
punch
playing
someone.
with the sword in my hilt, and I get
Ray is noticing a distinct lack of halflings. There are no people shorter than them. It's distressing. But also, is not seeing the halfling. Benny is noticing that there are no halflings. There are no halflings, which is exceptionally weird for a port. But there isn't. There isn't even anyone for Benny's hypervigilance to log on to and think that might possibly be halfling with Sealy pants. There isn't. So as you guys approach back to the dock, Benny does notice something though. Your boat's the only one on that dock. There was one when you got there earlier.
Motherfucker.
And Ray and Benny notice immediately, with a knife sticking into the hilt, a piece of cloth. Oh, sorry, a knife sticking into the, what is that called? The edge of a boat. The arms of a boat. Sides.
I think it's just called like the
Oh.
railing.
The railing.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a word. Sticking into the railing of your boat is a knife buried into it with a piece of cloth hanging off of it.
It's nice to know that it has railings.
It does have railings.
All right, let's see what it fucking says.
Oh, great.
I'm sorry,
You
my
do
cat.
it. You're bigger.
Well, when I say railings, I do mean
Yeah,
just the side of the boat. I can't
Yeah.
specify because I feel like you guys are not proficient in boat. But I have informed the relevant people who are proficient in boat that this is, I forget what it is, but you know those little boats that you normally like, oh shit, the ship is sinking and we have to get on a life like vessel to not die.
Is it like a dinghy?
It's not quite a dinghy. It's got a different name, but it's literally designed to only stick to the shallows and everything. So it doesn't quite have rails. It's just got side of boat. I just think that's also technically called like the railing or the lip of the boat.
Well, Benny, you're bigger. You get that.
I will. I'll get it. And you know what? I'll keep the knife too, unless someone else wants it. But yeah, I will read this note.
Can I ask
I'm gonna
which
gesture
side
come
it's
down here.
on?
So you pick up the knife?
Yes, and the note with it.
Okay. Knife seems pretty normal. You just pick it up. It's a normal knife. Got a nice little bronze hilt. Nothing fancy. Very sharp.
Mm-hmm.
The cloth is just a ruddy rust brown with streaky yellow paint that smells strongly of turmeric, so it's probably homemade paint. Very earthy smelling, and it's just a little dude sticking his tongue out at you.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of this fucking halfling if I ever meet him again. And you know what? That was in character.
Oh,
And-
that makes Ray laugh then.
I was gonna say my character's laughing too.
and just written in the bottom, and that horrible splotchy yellow paint is "buy" in common.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just. Can I use? This is kind of an off-label use of the spell, but can I use shock and grasp to fucking just incinerate this fucking piece of cloth?
No.
Yes. Yes, I'm so angry. Can I please?
Let's see.
So for the sake of
Snatch it out of the table.
I was just going to say this is if Carissa believes that it would be physically possible, as I believe that is currently the question of whether or not electricity can physically set a piece of cloth on fire. But
Off-label use.
but for the sake of this would be one of those situations where I would definitely allow this for fun narrative purposes, but to not allow it for, like, do not assume this is precedent for performing shenanigans in the future.
This is for the bit.
I'm okay with it then. That is my opinion. Carissa, yours?
I say yours extreme anger would allow you to rule a cool at this time, but normally your abilities cannot catch things on fire.
Oh, sure.
Ray, if you're trying to prevent this, do you feel like you have a skill that you could roll to move very quickly?
I mean, sleight of hand's not going to work, is it? Because he can see me.
To be fair, they specifically mention the use of sleight of hand for things like if you were playing cards, if you were trying to palm or hide a thing. So sleight of hand can be used in plain sight of another person. I cannot hear you, Carissa.
Oh no, Carissa.
Oh no!
Oh no. Carissa, come back.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to click it. That's my bad.
I was about to be like, damn, all right.
Barrett is like, no, I'm taking it.
Barrett is like, Ray, you took too long.
I stole it instead, I guess. My bad.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Not sure what caused that.
I am going to attempt to slip off my neckerchief as quickly as I can to sleight of hand it with the piece of cloth.
Oh,
What?
you just cut out real bad, baby.
I cut out. Oh no. I wanted to take off my blue neckerchief and try to sleight of hand it with the cloth as quickly as I can, so that if Benny does successfully manage to set something on fire, it won't be the cloth.
So you're trying to replace the cloth in his hand with your handkerchief?
My neckerchief, yeah.
Okay.
You motherfucker.
I'm wearing it like I'm wearing it like a scarf.
All right. So this is technically in the lightest terms PvP. So
Okay.
in
What am I
character,
rolling to counter?
I would say, one, do you want to even notice what he's doing?
I do.
Okay. Two, I would say either roll.
For
What do you guys think? Like perception or acrobatics?
I would think maybe perception because it's meant to be like a quick change, so it's whether or
Mhm.
not I actually see it happen, but it's your
Okay.
call.
Let's go ahead and go with perception then.
Okay.
And then
That
I
was-
would say you have to beat the 16.
Yo, but
Oh
you
wait,
could
no, that
pull-
wasn't Ray's roll.
Oh, that was Farida's roll. Sorry. Never mind. So go ahead, Ray, and roll your sleight of hand.
Yeah.
You have to beat the 11.
You have a plus fucking
Oh my
7
god!
sleight of hand?
yeah.
Oh my
remember all the
god.
times you guys told me not to steal from anyone? I've been sitting on a +7 this entire time.
Jesus
I
Christ.
believe the word you're looking for is expertise.
Oh, well, we both rolled
Hey.
4. That's romantic. Mother of
Yeah,
God.
7. I thought my +4 was rad.
Plus 7.
Rogues.
Jesus Christ.
Rogues specialize in being very, 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 very good at what
I
they
miss
want.
playing
You need to
Calro
understand.
now.
I dumped as much as I could into sleight of hand and stealth. This is a cat we're talking about.
I miss playing Calro, I really do.
All right, go ahead and describe how Ray swaps stuff.
I mean, I haven't been with Benny long enough to really tell, but I can already tell he's kind of pissed off, and the fact that he said he's gonna kill this halfling. So I reach behind myself, pull off my neckerchief, and then I just do a big hop, and I swap them, and then I land, and then I run away, and I'm like, no, we might be able to figure something out from this.
Well, your neckerchief is going to be up in flames then because I'm going to use shocking grasp. Like probably I was probably in the process of using it as you swapped it. So you're going to lose your neckerchief and I'm sorry.
That's fine, it just means I'm a little less cute.
How you get people to no longer trust you now?
I also
Just
like
are-
way more cat-like now.
You
I can't
probably
believe you have a
do.
fucking +7 to sleight of hand. That's nuts.
I've been fucking telling you guys for months to let me steal from people, and oh no, we shouldn't steal. Oh, you might not roll high enough. Fucking +7. Fuck you guys.
Did
Yeah.
I notice that they switched? That it was switched? Can I roll a perception for that?
So, would you have been specifically watching this entire scenario? I would assume yes. Then yeah, go ahead and roll a perception.
Since we're in fucking PvP.
Oh. No, I
Um,
must not care still.
You might have noticed towards the tail end when Ray's scarf is starting to go up in flames, but that's a the stuff has happened and now it just exists.
Shava just wants to get paid.
Shava would really like to just get paid, please.
I would maybe hazard to suggest that perhaps Shava is distracted because it is now dark and there are oil lamps around that are surely attracting big old moss for the lovely Porlos, and he is probably
Oh.
out and about munching.
He's doing the swoopy swoop and then he lands on your shoulder and he does a little butt wiggle and then he
Oh,
swoopy swoops some more.
Oh,
so cute.
All right.
I am holding this piece of cloth and I am pointing at Benny. And I'm telling, listen, I know that you're super angry, but do you know that if this was homemade paint, we might be able to trace it and find the guy?
No, I hadn't considered that.
And now you owe me a new neckerchief.
Then it's a good thing we're getting paid, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
how is it his fault that you need a new neckerchief? Because you're the one who switched them out.
He does say it like neckerchief, by the way. because he was, for once, he was the one that was acting without thinking. Usually that's one of our jobs.
I just
Let's
laugh
fail
and
his
I
role
shake
as
my head
dad.
and
He was-
can
Angie.
Waving the piece of cloth. I know you were angry.
He was so angry. Okay, it's past closing time. No getting paid today, yes.
I mean, you can swing by and check, but
Yeah.
it's more than likely locked up for the night, unless Dran's burning that late oil.
Well, we'll at least grab the sail so that Ray can get to work on our cool flag tonight. Since we're here, since we're in the neighborhood.
Since you walked all the way back here for a mocking piece of paper or cloth.
So
I'll
mean.
investigate the cloth now that we have the real one.
It do be like that sometimes. All right. So you guys got to go find an inn,
We do gotta go find an inn.
unless you want to sleep on the boat. But
Sleeping on the boat sounds free.
I'm
It does-
okay
Sleeping on
with
the boat?
sleeping on the boat because,
you don't sleep.
well, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
All right. So it is coming to
Two-
late evening.
Two things. Yep. Okay, never mind. That was going to be the one thing. And the other thing I wanted to mention is I don't actually think there is room for all 5 of you to sleep on this boat. You were previously kind of doing it in shifts because, like, 2 of you had to be awake to physically operate it before, and other things. So this is genuinely not enough room for all of you to comfortably sleep on this boat. Just to clarify.
Damn it.
all
I
right.
can go
I'm
over
gonna
to this
sleep on the
grassy
boat.
area.
You could try to camp outside of the city. That's always a valid option. And I think all of you have kits from being level 1 still that would have basic like bedroll and stuff.
This is still eating too, so
You would have to eat some of your rations. Or you could go into town and see if you could find an inn, or some of you could sleep on the boat and some of you could go to the inn.
I'm gonna sleep on the boat and make sure no one takes it.
That's a
If y'all
good
want to
move.
go into the inn, you can, but I'll be here.
That's a good move.
I'm gonna go outside the city and enjoy a night in the grassy areas.
Aw.
Druidic roots. You're gonna take Polos with you.
I am.
Aw,
Alright.
that's so cute.
He will probably love being somewhere that's a little bit darker, to be honest.
Less light pollution.
Lots of bugs for him.
Lots of bugs. All right, so
That-
that's 2. What does everybody else want to do?
I'm trying to figure out if I want to stake out the boat with Faraday or if I want to get a room. What's Ray doing, babe?
He needs to make the flag, but he's actually really interested in this note, so he'd like to take a closer look at it.
It's a little hard to do by oil light, so you might want to find a place with a little bit better light.
He might have to get a room.
He might save that for the morning then.
We could also get a room and then you'd have a place to work on the flag too.
I am very excited about the flag.
I mean, okay,
With
the boys could
Farida-
bunk.
Farida and Benny might be able to sleep comfortably in there in regular sleeping positions. If you put a third person in there, somebody's going to have to sleep sitting up, which would not be a full night's rest.
I feel bad about. Well, the kitties could bunk. Ray and Koki could get a room, and then Faraday and I could just hang out on the boat.
I think Koki would be down for that. Do some
Yeah.
tinkering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think then I'll stay on the boat. We'll sleep on the boat. Also, wait, is that going to be against the law? Are we going to be technically like? I guess squatting's the wrong term, but like, is it like? Are we like the people sleeping in their car at Walmart right now?
Considering
All right.
halflings are specifically known for having elaborate houseboats, I assume that would probably be a no, would be my personal thought. Carissa?
So the way docking normally works, and you would know this as a sailor,
Yeah.
and your time in Midas seems to be very similar rules. There is no downside for sleeping on your boat. However, the payment for docking something as a living quarters for an extended period of time is normally a different fee.
Mm.
So like a temporary stay, like if an actual ship were to pull up with like a crew of like, several people, they wouldn't be like, no, you guys can't sleep in your quarters. You have to pay us extra money. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But if you guys were to like tug your houseboat up here and want to stay for weeks and weeks and weeks,
You got to pay
then
rent.
yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it would come with different amenities than a normal dock, but you'd probably also be docked somewhere else. Normally, docks where you're staying for an extended period of time and living on the boat are more tightly packed. Because your entrance and exit is planned, and then people have to move their boats to let you in and out.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, you guys would be fine sleeping there tonight. If you were in a bigger city with a higher port that has like a crime issue, then maybe, but normally they would tell you if that was a problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then. I think that's the arrangement, I would say, probably then.
All right. So, in order to describe these scenarios, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll a d4 until I get a 1, 2, or 3 because I'm lazy.
That's fine.
1 is going to be shove out in the woods or in the plains right outside of town, getting there. 2 is going to be the boat, and 3 is going to be the inn. And then we'll just go from there. All right. So we're going to start off with Shava. Do you guys want to discuss anything else amongst each other before you all split up?
Just agree to meet back. Should we meet at the guild hall in the morning?
Guild hall?
That makes the most sense, yeah.
Yeah. Sunrise?
Works
You
for
would
me.
know, yeah, that the guild from like the paperwork that you were sent of like when you can get there for this mission, that it does open up at sunrise.
Okay.
All right. So, Shava, which gate do you want to leave out of? Because if you look at the map, you can kind of see that there's a wall around the city. So you're gonna
Yeah.
have 2 exit points.
I can see one exit point, but not the other.
So you got one to the far side, and then you've got one down here with the path.
I'll exit the one on the far side.
Okay.
And come out in this grassy area out here.
Okay. As you're leaving, the gatekeep kind of looks at you and goes, "Okay, it's be safe. It's pretty tame out here this time of year. There's no, big boogeyman. But you go too far away, we can't hear you if you scream. Just keep that in mind."
Smile, say thank you.
All right. So, your little birdie bud, the moment you guys kind of are a little bit farther away from the light, you can just kind of see his pupils get ginormous.
So cute.
And while the docks did have the oil lamps, which attracted a whole bunch of bugs, he seems to be a little bit less tense out here and a little bit more in his zone. He is flying a little bit farther away from you in order to get that food because it isn't all localized in one spot. But he is making happy little chomping noises. There's little bug legs sticking out of his mouth as he comes back to you very, very proud of himself. Obviously.
I pet him, give him some scritches, and tell him good job.
He soaks it up like he knows what you're saying, but obviously doesn't because he has 2 brain cells and they're full of bugs. So, Do you just want to sleep under the stars, like relax in Eldrudic style? Do you want to set up a camper? I shouldn't say
I'm-
camp. You don't.
More, yeah, I'm just gonna sleep under the stars.
Okay. Um. Nothing's gonna come and eat you. You are good to go to enjoy your night of star searching, and I will send you a message on the side. All right, second group. Hold on. Would be the N. Just a second. So I'm not shortchanging you thoughts while I'm trying to type something.
Bless you.
All right. So there's really only 2 N options in this town, I think. Lindsay, did we ever name the N's? I don't think we did in here. I think we only named the one at
Yeah, no, I did
Mostly.
not. I did not think to name the inns. I apologize, but there are. Give me one. Yeah, okay, I have the thing up. But there's basically. I remember there was a couple. There's definitely this one near the main gate. This red one over here, because there's the stable and everything that it is goes with. There's also this little blue one here that's actually near the far gate. I don't know if you guys can see my little arrowy bits. And then I wanted to say there was like one more in. Oh yeah, it's the what you calls it, red one here. No, that's a brew house. My bad. Those were the 2 inns that I definitely remembered making at the very least. If there's another one, by all means, but they did not have names.
Do you guys just go a looking, or do you ask someone? How do you find an N? Well, technically, it's only Ray because Koki is not here.
Just gonna kind of look for the nearest inn, whichever one is closest to me, I guess.
Inns tend to be at points of entry into towns to catch in travelers. So, which gate do you want to head towards? Actually, roll me. Just roll me a d20. The cutoff was 10. You remember as you were exiting the town previously that you actually walked by an inn on the east gate.
Cool, then I'm just gonna relay that information to Koki, and I figure we'll head over there.
Sounds good.
My wife.
No. Okay. Well,
Well, in the meantime.
in the meantime, luckily we weren't on that scene. All right.
That would've been
So, the inn has okay. You walk up to the inn. The inn is the Green Tea. And it seems to be, in relatively good condition. You're right next to a land bridge, which means they probably get, traders through here pretty often. Nothing fancy, but it's clean. The bottom floor is your typical open area with, some food and people milling around. It's getting later in the night, so there's not a ton of people, but it's a bunch of people and a lot of dock workers just chilling out, relaxing, and getting to bed.
a lot of dock workers. I'm going to assume there are no halflings around. I can
There are no
infer that
halflings.
much from Lionclaw.
There are no halflings that you recognize. There are one halfling in the far back corner, but that's a lady.
And I don't recognize her. Okay. Well, my wife's not here, so I won't roast her too bad. But unlike Benny, Ray isn't going to just assume that all halflings know each other.
All right.
Yeah, we'll just like he and Cookie can get a little room. Could be
The
cat.
obvious like employee running around. There's somebody behind the bar. It's more of like a serving table than anything else. It doesn't seem to be like a fancy bar or tavern kind of situation, but enough to serve some food and drinks outside of the kitchen. There's somebody standing there. There is a person running food and drink to people, and there's somebody kind of just cleaning up. The person cleaning up is not making eye contact. Who would you like to talk to?
The person cleaning up.
The person cleaning up?
Oh, absolutely. I can sense the no eye contact from a mile away.
So as you approach them, they are very obviously trying to walk away from you and like still clean as they're like sweeping the floor and wiping down tables. And eventually you do get to them and they kind of like stare at your nose and they're like, can I help you with something?
Yeah, no, sorry. I was just wondering who we talked to about getting a room.
Oh.
Just,
Oh,
a regular
okay.
cat and a water cat.
Okay, cool. No, we're just right by the docks, and we've just had some angry people come in today. Yeah, the person over by the kitchen. They'll help you out.
Angry people that have had their money stolen.
Do be like that sometimes.
It do be. Thanks. Then I'll make my way in that general direction. My life.
You laugh. So, you talking to their employee has made the person that's kind of over by the kitchen take note of you. They're probably an elf. A little bit thinner build, and by thinner I mean it looks like somebody kind of like gave them Gumpy proportions. Obviously a person who works hard, but they kind of wave you over and ask you what you need.
Okay, well, first of all, the last time that you said someone might have been something, they ended up being something completely different and robbed us. So is this person actually an elf?
Okay, when I say that they're an elf, they probably got elven history or ancestry or something that is making the tips of their ears just a little pointed. It's not a full-on point that you see with most elves, and their proportions suggest something other than human, but they're not short enough to be like gnomish influenced, more than likely.
Got it.
So they
gonna
get that look.
Get that. Yep, Ray's just gonna do the wave, like, hey, we're just looking to have a room for the night. Preferably something with a little bit of lighting. I've got some sewing to do.
How many people are you looking for?
Just us.
Oh, okay, cool. That won't be too big of a problem then. We had a few people come into town last minute, and yeah, we didn't have any of our big rooms left. Yeah, we've got a room. We can send you up with a couple extra lanterns, and I have forgotten the standard pricing for a night at an inn. Do you guys need food?
The ears perked though. A big group came through.
I don't know. We got these riverboats that come up and down. It's brought in a lot of money, but every once in a while they'll throw like an event or a party or an auction on them, and like it just you never know who's going to actually show up.
Right, because there's an auction going on tomorrow with the church.
With the church is throwing an auction?
No.
He kind of just looks very confused. He's like, I didn't know any of them were struggling for money. Okay, I mean, you know what? I don't. He kind of just like does like this like movement. Like, no disrespect. Everybody to each their own. I'm just not super religious myself, so I don't really keep up on it. But yeah, there's one of the bigger boats are coming in tomorrow apparently. We had a bit of an issue earlier where we found out that two people wouldn't stay at the same inn. So that caused a bit of a kerfuffle, but luckily we were able to send them down the way to the other inn and it worked itself out. So you don't have to worry about any drama. Everything will be fine tonight.
It's working a mile a minute. Why would they be arguing about staying in the same inn?
Bad blood. Like one of them seemed to care a lot, and the other one just looked like they would rather be anywhere else than talking about whatever the other guy was talking about. Something. It was like a merfolk, and he looked expensive, if you know what I mean. And he was just unhappy that the other person was ignoring them, and he uses like quotation marks around the word ignoring. He's like, never. You know what? No, they're patrons. It's really none of my business to be gossiping about it. They're both in bed.
Hey, no, but wait.
He kind of like pauses.
I've been looking for my friend who's a merfolk. He wasn't wearing white and kind of looked like an octopus, did he?
No. That's that's the COR rep, the core rep. Nah, he isn't staying here. I actually don't know where he's staying. Possibly in the water, because he's not staying at the other end. Sorry, the other. I know the person who runs the other end, so he kind of communicates and keeps people from throwing a fit and hopping.
Wait, so and you need to understand he's lying. So if it wasn't my friend, then who was this other mer person?
No, he looked like he had money. My guess is he's here for whatever boat event. They must have been going to the same thing because the one guy was like, they wouldn't invite you, and the other one was like, why? Why wouldn't they invite me? The person he was fighting with, I think he was part Shalar and part Merfolk. It's hard to tell. Merfolk are so diverse that you never really know what's going on. But he had legs. Most Merfolk don't have legs unless it's like 8 of them. So and he just kind of like laughs nervously. He's like, not that I have any room to be talking about being ambiguous looking. But yeah,
you are talking to a bipedal cat. So I mean,
it's just like it's kind of hard to describe because they weren't here for very long. But yeah, no, the merfolk, he ended up he ended up leaving. And he's down at the other end. But he was fancy looking, and the Shalaran was
fancy looking mer person on 2 legs. Well, it's definitely not Benny.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that out loud.
he's like
Unless
so
it is Benny.
So
Be surprised.
the calmer dude is upstairs. So like I said, no drama. I think they're just both here for the same boat event and have bad blood. Nothing major.
He's thinking the mer guy with the 2 legs. He wasn't wearing a scarf, was he?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Why?
He's in. Can we get a room?
He looks put off by this sudden change in comment, but seems to like come to his senses and realize that he's been rambling about his patrons. So he's like, yeah, of course, yeah. Here, and he like reaches underneath the counter ledge that people have been getting food from, and hands you a key. He goes, it's actually on the 2nd floor. It's a double bed. I'll have somebody bring you up an extra lamp and some food here in just a few minutes if you guys want to get settled in.
Well, Thank you so much. And he's going to take it really fast, and then he is going to run upstairs.
The guy just kind of like waves. All right.
Where are
and-
you son of a bitch?
You need to understand. I think you can probably figure out why I'm sweating, babe. Maybe. I wish I had not stayed on the fucking boat. Or maybe I'm glad I stayed on the boat. Who knows?
All right. So,
I don't know how I could figure out where you are.
You have sneak. You can sneak and sneak and peek at the rooms, or you could go door to door and knock.
I mean, see, normally Ray would do something stupid like that, but also this is someone he actually knows, and therefore he is going to use that 12 whiz 15 int. So
you would know that is a good way to get you kicked out of the inn very quickly.
Bothering
Yeah.
all the other patrons late at night.
Just a patron blearily down the
Exactly.
stairs. No bad. Is there anything? Koki kind of is settling into the room comfortably and seems very, very
Koki
content.
just watched Ray have like an aneurysm or something.
Koki is like, that is not my drama, not my business. I will poke that bear later. It's late. And kind of just settles in for the night. Is there anything else you want to do before you start examining that flag?
It's too distracted to examine my flag. Ugh. Here I am making a flag for this man's bucket.
You have a spare flag, you have a flag you gotta make, you have a sail you need to modify, and you got questions about people. Shame.
So many questions. I am going to funnel some of my curiosity into this flag so that I don't die, because you know what they say about curiosity in the cat.
Okay. Koki kind of notices you messing with it, kind of like, and I'm not going to put words in Day's character's mouth, but pretty much, Koki points out the fact that they are proficient in alchemy,
Ooh.
and maybe they could help you figure out the composition of that paint, because they would probably be a lot better suited to do it than you.
Good job, babe. Good call with the
Yeah,
flag.
for sure.
Or not with the flag, with the paper. Nah, the cloth. Jesus. I'm too distracted.
Yeah, definitely want to take a look at it though, because would he would, well, because he's more of a textile crafter than one that would work with paints and stuff like that. So yeah, it would make more sense to hand it over to Koki. But he would know, yeah, you can trace that kind of stuff, right? To certain parts of like turmeric and stuff.
Probably, they would probably be able to tell by the color if they could figure out what the pigment, not the pigment, but what the compound was to attach the pigment. They could probably figure out what kind of turmeric it was, because it smells like turmeric, like really strongly. So they'd probably at least be able to give you that kind of information, and you might be able to ask questions about who is known for using turmeric paint. But once again, it isn't very high quality paint, so they probably didn't buy it from.
So they almost definitely made it themselves.
Yeah. Like you.
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
hand it
can-
over to Koki.
Okay, so Koki kind of like ruffles through their alchemist bag and pulls out like a little little dish and like scrapes some of the paint off into it, and then hands you back the rest of the flag. Like, this is all I need. And then proceeds to sit at one of the desks in the room and get set up to get a test in with some little vials and beakers, and just having a good old time. Good old time. It's not really clear what information Koki is going to be able to give you, but it looks like they know what they're doing.
And I am, while Cookie's working on that, I'm going to get to work on our flag. I'm sewing it. And
Sounds good. A little while later, you'll have an extra lamp brought up and a couple dishes of just basic stew. Normally served at almost every single inn. It's the never-ending pot of stew that all inns are known for.
this is the stew.
Never ends.
It's in every single end.
Yeah. You know, it's great. All right, and then I'm assuming you guys settle down for a night of work.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to switch to the boat peeps then, and then when the night ends, I'll give you guys a summary of what you figure out. Because it'll take a while for that kind of stuff to happen. All right, so back to our boat peeps. We have Farida and Benny hanging out at the boats. You guys gonna snuggle in immediately?
We chillin'. I think I'm still angry about getting swindled. So if we're doing it in shifts, I'll offer to go first. Because I'm
I-
stewing.
Seemingly totally not suspicious at all, demand to take first shift.
Huh.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
What if, okay, well, you know what? I'll let her, but I won't actually sleep because I want to watch why she's being so fucking shifty.
Alright, so after I'm convinced Betty's asleep, because I've seen him try to eat his candy, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna go to bed in 20 minutes.
My
Um,
candy!
I'm gonna sneak off.
I want to follow. And wait, hold on. Do I notice? Do I have to roll perception to see if I notice?
I am trying to sneak away. I
So let's
don't want to
stealth
like
check.
creak the boat. Stealth. Okay. Is it
Roll
stealth
stealth
a
check.
thing that I can roll?
Let me double check. Where is
Yes.
it?
Oh, and I'm
Okay.
bad at it.
Oh no!
Oh.
We are a bard. Bards aren't
Alright.
supposed to be quiet.
And then if I remember correctly, perception is what sees people who are trying to sneak. But if
I
you're
believe.
Yeah, and since you
Carnivora.
and since you were actively looking, I'm not gonna make you use your passive. I'm gonna go ahead and let you roll. So go ahead and try to beat the stealth roll.
Oh, I can't even see the stealth roll. Unless it was a private roll.
It was it? Yes, it was. So
Okay.
go ahead and just
I will just roll perception for everybody.
What is
Motherfuck!
private?
You were rolling so
By-
well earlier.
I was
I
rolling
didn't
great and it had
mean-
happened.
I didn't mean to
listen.
do a private roll. That's my bad. It was a 10.
Mother of God, I was so close!
So it's almost like Farida realized that they really should have told you that they just needed to go get something to eat instead of offering to take first watch. And was like, shit. I was suspicious. And just like manages to watch Benny as like they're preoccupied. Maybe they're looking at like the knife dent in the sill, or they're actually nodding off a little bit. I'll let you decide what Benny's distracted by, but Farida gets away.
I'm probably too like busy stewing about getting my fucking money stolen to actually notice. I probably got lost in my own thoughts, replaying the moment, and then Farida was gone.
Farida is gone. All right, Farida. You sneak off into the night. Do you want to continue that one privately?
I don't need to. No. If I hear anything, I'll come back and shove Benny.
So Farida goes off looking for smugglers.
Ooh.
Let me double check. Where? All right. So, as a smuggler, you would know that probably the best place to be looking for smugglers inside of a city is pretty much where you're at the docks. Is there anyone in particular you would like to go bug, or do you just want to go looking for the telltale signs of people doing what people do?
Do I know anyone that would be here? Like, do I have my buddy Jeff on the staff, or
You roll me a d20.
I sure will. Just a loose d20.
Let me think. Go ahead and roll me. Let me pull up your character sheet. See if anything that you have bonuses in. Eh. Fortunately not. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Okay.
Because you are looking for people. All right, that I would say that's enough. So there's nobody you're specifically familiar with, but you do know in this cluster of islands there is a smuggler group that kind of pseudo communicates with each other here and there. One of those like I won't say if you won't say that we're fencing for each other. Tend to wear sashes around their waists while they're working with specific stripe patterns. From last you heard, this month it would be red and blue stripes. Luckily,
Okay.
find someone with said stripe pattern on them. And they must be new. They're not doing so good. They're very obviously a sneaking around and a looking. So, I'm assuming you go up and you talk to them.
I would, yes.
Okay. So they're a little suspicious at first, but as your lovely background does, you kind of know the lingo to get them to calm down. And even though you're not wearing the appropriate attire, they're like, "Oh, okay, I get it. You've been doing this for a while," and they kind of relax. They get a little confused on why you're looking for a thief, though. Like, so they just kind of look at you and they're like, why, why are you looking for him?
They stole from me.
They stole from you?
Yes.
How?
I fell for a scam somehow, and they got away, and I don't let people who steal from me get away.
Receive one of the most judgmental stances you have ever seen a low rung smuggler ever give another person. They're like, did you seriously fall for that pay me money to dock here scam?
Did I? Did my friend? Does it really matter who it is?
Friend of Normie. Like, shouldn't dude, you need to educate your friends on like what not to do. That's embarrassing.
Okay, I will. I will.
Okay, all right. No, the dude who was doing it, he doesn't work around here. We don't like attracting that much attention. 4 hits in one day. I mean, he did a couple more than that, but 4 reported hits in one day. Like, that's too much attention. This is not a big town. I don't know. He must have came from a major city or something. He didn't talk to nobody. Um, he mentioned the halflings that were coming in tomorrow. I think he was trying to get some money and get out of here before they hit. Like they docked. But no, man, he's gone. Uh, left hours ago.
Do you know which way he went?
Nah, like I said, he wasn't one of ours, and he was not wanting to tell anybody his business. And anytime we were like, "Hey, maybe don't do that," and he was like, "How about you go shove it where the sun don't shine?" Wasn't it? What? He wasn't a pleasant man. Was not a pleasant man.
Okay. It also wasn't a big hit. He stole 2 silver. That was his entire shtick. I feel like most people fell for it because they're like, oh, that's not a whole lot.
Yeah, like honestly, it kind of undercharged people, is from my understanding. So a lot of people were like, yeah, sure, okay, that'll like it was a low enough amount of money that people didn't really question it. So I guess he was smart at least in that regard. But yeah, it's probably a good thing he was gone. He was starting to tick off some people. Nobody who, I mean, nobody who works this kind of job wants attention.
Right.
Do you need any work, or are you good? Sounds like you got friends who don't know how to keep their money on them.
Do you
Damn.
have any? Do you have any work? I've got the night, but not much more than that.
I mean, if you've only got the night, probably not. They'd want to bet you, but I'll keep an ear out. You staying at the end around the corner?
I'm actually sleeping on my boat.
Wait a minute. Are you working off that dinky little thing that rolled in today?
You better believe it. We killed the guys who
Oh.
had it, and we stole it straight from underneath them.
Killed a man for that piece of shit?
3, and I sure did.
I mean, he looks incredibly uncomfortable. I really hope he did more than have a boat that looked like that to get you to kill 3 people.
We were contracted to get something from them, and
You're
the boat-
contract killers?
in part, I don't think we're supposed to kill them, but they're not going to be mad that we did.
So, circling back to the fact that this is a obviously new smuggler that does not know how to keep his head down, all the color is draining from his face. He is realizing very rapidly that he bit off more than he can chew. He is sweating, not having a good time.
Do I see the color drain from his face?
Oh, you absolutely do. This man has
I'm
no
gonna
ability
ask
to
him-
hide anything.
I'm gonna ask him how long has he been working this job if that was such a big shock to him.
Well, okay.
I don't.
Okay, so first off, I think it is important to state some things that you would know, because that is important for explaining this thing. As a general rule of thumb, smugglers don't tend to kill people. As he said, it is counter to their operation to be noticed by people. In fact, the group that you guys got the boat from, if they were in fact smugglers, which it seemed so by their notes, the fact that they killed the merchant caravans is an extreme taboo in the smuggler community, which arguably would have made them it's something reasonable to remove, as they would have otherwise brought attention to people who would want to be under the radar. So explaining that, oh yeah, I just murdered some people from a boat, is very much not generally what the smuggling would do.
I'm gonna try to
taking
convince
out the
him that it
trash.
is part of smuggling.
Okay, roll me a wisdom check real quick.
Wisdom to convince him? My wisdom's
No.
trash.
I'm
Where is
letting you roll wisdom to give you more information.
What ability check?
Just roll me a flat wisdom. Okay,
That's okay.
perfect.
I didn't know you
Oh,
were a smuggler.
I
You
am a smuggler.
absolutely
Hey, I
could
was a
do
pirate.
Yes!
that. You absolutely could do that, or you could point out the fact that they were dangerous smugglers that you removed.
The fact that I had to roll a 20 wisdom check to get that option, I'm gonna guess that's the better one.
I mean, your wisdom check was a lot lower than that. It was like a pass or a fail.
Oh. Alright, I'll say that they were dangerous. I'll do the correct answer.
Do whatever you want. If you want to intimidate the dude, you can totally go the other route. But if you're wanting to get something out of the dude in a nice way, that is a way you could do it without intimidation. Either way is perfectly valid.
My persuasion is better than my intimidation, so I will say that they were bad people and that they stole infant birds, these little griffins, and they were very cute.
And
mean,
also murdered people.
Yeah, it's the murder.
The murdering, that's the bad
problem.
thing. As a
I
general,
Baby
Really
birds.
casually
I
mentioning
feel like
birds.
I care more about the birds, but okay, whatever. I'll also bring up the they murdered people.
So the smuggler is slightly comforted in the fact that you know, killed smugglers that were probably drawing way too much attention to themselves nearby where they work out of. That's no bueno for their business. They do pick up on the fact that you cared a little bit about the fact that they were, you know, smuggling birds more than the fact that they were killing people. So he's still a little green around the gills, so to say, and he's oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that uh they're no longer taking business. That's cool. Any anything else I can help you with?
Is there anything
Superman
else
is like,
you can help me
"Please,
with?
nothing."
I missed half of the session.
You pretty much just missed a dude walking up and not giving them any information and the party paying him. It's his entire thing. So
An actual in character justification for why Benny would not question it. So
I mean, fair. There's a reason why he got away with it 4 times in one day.
yeah.
It's not a bad mark. It's just smugglers would think you were stupid. Because that's what smugglers do.
I'm gonna say no. I just wanted information about this guy, and if he doesn't have any, I understand. Does he know anyone who might know more?
Thinks about it for a minute. He's like, I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest. It's not super easy working out of these docks because of all like the gambling boats that come through here. We've got a lot of people competing with your boat and smugglers. You got your people who are trying to like fudge the dice rolls and a whole bunch of stuff. If you're wanting more information on somebody who came and went, you're probably better off talking to one of the people who's been in town, like a cop, like a guard. Like the guards are going to be able to recognize people that are repeat problems here better than any of the smugglers because we're in and out too much. Like there is no hard and fast group here. I can say he wasn't wearing any kind of marking that I'm familiar with. No tattoos, no nothing. He did. Wait a minute. No, wait, hold on. Dude had a lot of spices on him, like a lot of spice. Like his boat was pretty much enough for him to sleep on, and then spices. You know, some halfling boats they even grow their own stuff on it. None of that. Yeah, I mean, he had to get it from somewhere if he ain't growing it, you know.
Yeah.
I really don't know if there's any underground information, but if I were in your shoes, I would look up at who's been buying a whole bunch of spice lately.
Where'd you buy spices around here?
Oh, ironically, from a lot of halflings. I'm not super familiar with the spice trade. You know that halfling group is coming in tomorrow. You might be able to ask them if there's any major ports around here that deal in a lot of spices. I mean, the dude reeked of turmeric, and I like turmeric, so he must have been rolling in it. But I know for a fact he had some anise on there as well, and that doesn't grow in a lot of places around here. So that would probably help you narrow it down a little bit if you can figure out something about what grows those two things in the same place.
Can you repeat that second spice? I just didn't get it.
Anise. Anise. It's also called star anise.
Okay.
Might also be pronounced anise.
You
I
put
think
it in
it's
chai
anise.
tea.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
cookies sometimes.
Sometimes.
All right. Apparently, everyone else is just way better versed in spices.
I only know it because my great grandma puts it in her Christmas cookies.
All right. I'm gonna thank the novice smuggler and go back to the boat and kick Benny.
I
Benny.
don't think I was asleep. I think I was eating candy.
Do I see him eat the candy?
Well, let me roll stealth. Let me roll stealth.
There was
roll
so much
perception, my
desperation in
dude.
that.
Can I roll stealth to be sneaky?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay, please. Oh my god, it hovered over the 1 for so long. I was like, oh no.
Oh, you get away with it this time.
Yay! You'll never fucking catch me.
He caught you the first night.
No, it doesn't mean I can't hide it still. What?
It was a one-time thing, not a repeat
Okay.
problem.
What? Hurriedly shoving my fucking candy in my pocket.
Right, I'm like, apparently I don't think that's suspicious at all. I'm like, I have the vaguest amount of news on the little halfling.
Mm.
And I got absolutely dogged on to get this information for you. They're like, oh, you let your friend fall through this basic hit? That was so rude. Anyways. So apparently he's not in like a main smuggling ring. In fact, the smuggling ring thinks he's stupid because he got 4 reported hits in a day, which is just a lot, you know. So he's getting way too much attention. He also apparently doesn't have any of the markings or any tattoos, but I have one thing. Man had a lot of spices, an obnoxious amount of spices. They were telling me his boat was just him and spices, and he wasn't growing it. So he had turmeric, which is pretty popular, but he also had the other one that I just don't know how to say out loud, but my character said it. Anise?
Anise.
Which seems a lot more rare. So what we need to do is find where someone sells that, and then find our dude. They also told me to go talk to the guard, but I don't want to talk to the guard because I don't like cops. So what if you did
I don't
that?
like cops either.
What if you liked cops, though, a little bit more? And did it anyways?
What if we could lie and pretend we like cops?
We could. How good am I at lying? I'm pretty good at lying, apparently. So we could go bug some cops and see what we can get off of them.
Are
I
we
would
gonna
like to remind
forego
you that
our
it's in the
long
middle
rest?
of the night.
Yeah, are we gonna forego our long rest to do a fucking midnight like vigilante hit on this fucking halfling? Cause I'm for it.
Oh, I'm absolutely forgoing my long rest. Are you kidding? He needs sleep, not me.
Jesus
I'll do it.
Christ.
I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. I've got 9 hit points. I don't give a shit.
I also have 9, so I'm good.
Let's do it. Let's go find some fucking
As a
cops.
note, you guys would have definitely long rested while on the boat. You guys were traveling for
Oh.
2 days. All of your
whoops, my bad.
all of
Hey.
your HP, and unless you used a spell like or something, should all spell slots and HP should be restored. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, long rest.
Based on that
Done.
one. Carry on.
Thank you. I was like, I thought we traveled for longer, but hey, I'm not listed as having done a long rest, so no. I will totally fucking forego the long rest. And we can go on our mission.
We're gonna go talk to the cops.
We are.
Where do you look for cops?
Well, there are guards everywhere, aren't there?
I mean, yeah, but do you want to talk to like The ones at the docks, the ones at the gates? Are you looking for where they work out of?
Oh, okay. If he has spices that he's buying from somewhere and he's on a houseboat, they said that the they said that the auctions were held like on the river, right? Or no, what was I thinking of? Where are these auctions happening tomorrow? Because I have a feeling like he's going to be involved in that shit.
On.
Hmm.
But the auction is happening on a riverboat.
On a riverboat. Okay. Hmm. Let's find. Okay, no.
You can start with the dock cop, and then if they're not helpful, move up to the building guards, like the ones who are actually where they belong. They'll probably be higher ranked.
As they can give us a better idea than the ones that are on the docks. Yes, no, maybe.
I
I
trust
am
you.
so sorry. I feel like I had a cutout audio wise. Can you repeat that?
Oh no, it's I feel like guards more in town would know where things were sold, like where to point us in the direction of places where people could buy spices, rather than guards by the docks. So probably guards further in town.
Okay, so
Guard.
let's go further in town.
Okay. Let's see. Why don't you both roll me an investigation?
Motherfucker.
I
God
made
damn it, we
theirs an
suck so
18.
bad, dude.
All right. You don't see much. It's nighttime. There's not a lot of guards out. And the guards that are out are doing stuff. Benny, you do notice one guard that seems to be doing circles and peeking down alleys and that sort of stuff, making sure that nothing's amiss, doing rounds, but that's pretty much the only one you see.
You said you're good at lying?
I sure am able to lie. Let's go. What am I lying about?
Sorry.
We need 5 spices tomorrow.
Just,
So
I
before we get into this,
I was going to say it is about like 9:30 here-ish, and like
yes.
we have been
True.
going for quite a while. I don't know how long you guys are going to have this convo, but if it's not too long, maybe we could do it. Otherwise, we should like wrap it here or do this real quick and then wrap at the end of this.
I'm
Sorry
okay
for
with
interrupting.
taking
I
up-
just saw the time and I'm just like,
No.
this is a thing we
yeah.
should talk about. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm okay with starting this next time.
Yes, please.
All right. We don't have to rush
Just
that
a
information.
Reminder, though, for everyone that next session I will be in my car on my way back to Ohio.
No, my babe.
Next session, I'm gonna be
So I will
perfectly
not
honest.
be here, definitely.
Okay.
I was kind of excited. I thought we could have a talk only session.
There's a possibility that other people won't be here next session. Days, moving and starting a new job and a whole bunch of other stuff is going around. We might actually do our first session of Horns and Halberders next week. And just plan for that. That way we don't have to worry about anybody missing plot. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. You did not get to a single thing I had planned for tonight.
We had stuff going on.
You didn't plan the dude stealing the money?
No.
I can't believe you swindled me on a fucking whim.
I'm seeing Carissa at one point during this, and I'm just like, yes, suffer the improv that I had to. Enjoy the madness. It's beautiful, though. I love everything that's happening right now. But it's just like, because of course I have assisted in the planning of this, and it's just like, oh God, we are not going to get to any plot. This is still plot. It's your guys' plot, but just like the
Yeah.
plot we had planned, I mean.
We planned on you guys
Character growth.
really wanting your money.
Oh.
So
Oh, I
we
want
and it's
did.
money.
fine.
I can wait on my paycheck.
Yeah, we went to Silver.
So it's fine. It's perfectly fine. I'm a-okay with this. This will link back into other things Lindsay and I have been planning as well, so it'll be fine. But to just give you all guys a, let's see, a taste of what you were actually supposed to get to today.
Oh Lord.
I don't know why you guys keep trying to plan things with us, honestly.
Maybe you should
You'll
give us a roadmap.
Railroad
Because
us
we will
completely.
go off track every
I
time.
mean, they did
Oh, it's
kind
fine.
of. They did make it clear that they wanted us to go.
Carissa, just to clarify, your screen is black, at least to the stream port, so I don't know if you meant to have it on
We
invisible.
can't. Nope, I didn't. I turned it off so the players couldn't peek at it in between one moment.
That true strike is for the hairy little man. I'm gonna find his ass.
Oh, hello?
Ooh.
Alright. So I'm not going to let you read all of this for obvious reasons, but this is the next section that you guys will be dealing with.
Oh, they do have.
And I would like you all
pronouns.
to, let's see, where is he? Your friend, the COR representative, is right here in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, that's a thing
That is a thing.
that you guys will be dealing with next session, more than likely. Depends on how far you go after this halfling.
Oh, we're going all the way. We're
Oh,
fucking
we're
going
going.
in.
We will find him. We'll find his family.
Like
Benny-
it's like the scene in Taken. I don't know who you are. We have a very specific set of skills, etc., etc. Like we will.
Oh my god.
Well, Benny, you have a meetup tomorrow,
I do, and that does take precedence.
and you guys do need to get paid before you leave the city and talk to Dran and inform him of how things went. So,
Drawn.
Drawn, excuse me. So, I mean, you don't have to do either of those things, but just as a reminder, those are a little bit more time sensitive than the halfling who is gone.
I feel like this halfling, if we don't find him now, will end up being the endgame boss.
Exactly.
BBG.
BBEG.
He really grows up from stealing 2 silver.
That silver was actually the last pieces he needed for his ritual.
And now it's all coming to fruition.
Now it's canon because you said it.
Don't put ideas like that in my head.
Now we
Honestly,
find
I
him,
would
and it's
fucking
just a
love that.
TPK.
TPK from Silver Halfling McSteely Pants.
Halfling
He's not even gonna get a name. It's just Halfling McSteely Pants. He's just gonna have like the
That's
most
amazing.
generic.
It's
Alright.
no one knows his true name. Not even him. Not anymore.
Not after what Will do to him.
You know what?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. I want to say that is the end of the session. For people who are getting messages on the side, we will get those wrapped up by the next main session that we do. If you do not have your Horns and Halberds character fully fleshed out yet, let us know so we can get them built in time for next session. That way we don't have to have a canceled session. All right, any questions?
I think that's a good compromise since we're gonna probably be down Day and my wife.
So I feel like that is just the best course of action. Lindsay and I intentionally have been looking up ways to rapid adjust battles and ideas and stuff depending on how many people actually show up. So if 4 people end up being here, cool. We'll still run it and we'll just adjust where needed.
Solid.
Since we are doing Horns and Halberders next time,
Mhm.
would you make a character for Sarah just in case she wants to join?
I'm okay with that. Is everybody else okay with that?
It's
Sarah
just a
being the
bird.
person. Yeah. They have to be a bird.
Oops, all birds. What's happening?
Oops, all birds and one horse.
Oh wait, is everyone else like a bird?
No,
No.
mine's
Okay, I was
not.
like, what?
I'm not a bird.
I'm a horse.
There's just a surprising amount of Aarakocra representation so far for
That's rad.
horse. But
I think that's cool.
it is. It is. I'm very happy that we got to pull out some of our more ridiculous characters like Gui. Lindsay
I
was kind
love
enough to
that
draw a
goddamn
picture
penguin.
so long ago. So
I love that penguin.
any opportunity I have to put a penguin in something, it will happen. There will be a penguin.
Okay.
That's the
We'll be
right
doing
choice.
shit.
We probably should wrap, if nothing else, so that I can hit the stop buttons.
Oh yeah, by all means. Thank you all for coming, and this is the episode 5.
7, which I
Wow.
spaced and totally forgot to change on the icon. Fortunately, I don't think anyone actually joined us today, so
Well, it doesn't help that we like to ramble.
it is
get
what
there
it is.
eventually.
I mean,
Plus
to
it
be
gives us
fair,
so
like
much
I
stuff.
said, it's all in good fun. All right.
Yeah, it's all right, guys. Thank you all for joining the 7th episode of the Dead Sea God. We will see you all hopefully in 2 weeks for the first, or whoever ends up showing up for the first session of Horns and Halberders. Everybody have a good night.